Rangers have done it. They're joining Celtic in the Champions League group stages. They couldn't do it the easy way. They couldn't win the Scottish Premiership. They couldn't win the Europa League final. But third time lucky, they've done it the hard way. They've managed to qualify via the league position by beating USG and then PSV Eindhoven. What a result for Rangers and what a result for Scottish football. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football, here to review the game where Rangers did what not a lot of people thought they would do. If I'm being honest, I don't think many Rangers fans even thought Rangers would win tonight, and the ones that did, I feel like it's more just, biasm, just being biased and showing bias towards your team and being more hopeful rather than anything else. I think Rangers fans may have thought, like most people, that when they didn't win the first leg, that it was going to be an uphill battle. No one really expected them to come to PSV Eindhoven and win tonight, in my opinion. And who knows, we could maybe argue that they got a bit lucky with the goal, but I think they deserved their luck, because I thought Rangers, even though they had to weather the storm in certain spells, I thought Rangers were actually the better team tonight. And that might be a bit controversial, but that's what I think. So let's talk about it. First half, PSV, first 10 minutes, started off really well, dominated the game, dominated possession. I remember looking at its possession stats like 10 minutes in, and PSV had 83% possession, so it was looking really, really good for them. Rangers were struggling to do anything. I think Rangers won a corner in the opening 30 seconds, but bar that was like the only positive thing they had in the first 10 minutes. But the longer the first half went, the more Rangers came into the game. They had a period, like a 10-15 minute period, where they were actually on top and they were the much better team. They were getting the possession back, and they had a spell where they created like 4 or 5 corners, and they had some chances. Nothing was really clear cut. With a Kent shot at the goalkeeper, and then we had a Lundstrom shot that just went wide of the post. So there was a couple of shots in there, but no real clear-cut opportunities. But Rangers were getting the ball, they were getting forward, and they were creating corners, and it looked like the tide was turning. But that was until we got near the end of the first half. PSV, before the break, in like a 5-minute spell, must have created like 3 or 4 really good opportunities to score. And 2 of these opportunities were down to Golds, and the first one comes in for a cross. Golds is in front of his man. He's got a couple of yards on his man, but he's just too slow to react. And De Jong just bursts away from Goldson, and De Jong's not even a fast player, but he just sprints away for Goldson. Goldson's too slow, doesn't catch up to him. De Jong then meets the cross. It's about 8 yards out maybe. He connects it sweetly, but it maybe connected too well, because he aimed it right at the centre of the goal, and that's where John McLaughlin was standing, and John McLaughlin kind of cushioned it down with his chest and then picked up the ball. So Rangers here, I thought, got let off. Could it easily be 1-0 PSV for the break. And then, like, about a minute later, PSV were through again, and it was Connor Goldson just not marking his man, just allowing the guy to run straight past him. He opened up some space, created a shot for himself, but he put it over the bar. And then we had another corner, like a minute later, where PSV narrowly headed over again just before half-time. So even though I thought the first half was probably about even, the last 5 minutes PSV dominated, and I thought going into half-time it wasn't looking good for Rangers. I thought that Rangers were going to have to weather the storm. I thought PSV were going to come out second half like they finished the first half and, continue to be on top, but it didn't really turn out that way. First start the second half, PSV again, they started the stronger of the two, but I didn't think they were great by any means. They didn't really blow Rangers away. They had like a couple of chances, but nothing that you would call clear-cut, no like gilt-edge opportunities. And then finally, there was a really good opportunity here from Lawrence. This was absolutely fantastic. It was maybe 57 minutes in. He's on the edge of the box, and he's got like the footwork here was fantastic, controlling the ball close to his feet, not allowing the ball to get away from him. Just close football control, and the skill and the trickery. And he just like opened up the space, created an angle, turned his body, and just hit a shot. And it looked like it was finessing right into the top hand corner, but it like cracked off the. It was like right in the corner. It kind of like hit the crossbar, hit the post. It was like, you couldn't have aimed it any better if you're trying to hit like the corner of the frame of the goal. It was a fantastic shot for Lawrence, and it was great control, great feetwork, and just great body positioning to angle the shot up for himself. But unfortunately, he deserved a goal here, didn't he get it? But Rangers did get their goal a couple minutes later. PSV defender took a heavy touch, and Tillman was there. He jumped on it, and he had a choice to either try and score himself from a like not a tight angle, but I think Tillman could have scored, but he done the right thing because he had Kolak waiting in the middle on the edge of the 6-yard box, and Coleman was not going to miss this. It was literally an open goal, so he slotted it past him to the keeper, and then it was just Kolak with an easy tap-in, really, to give Rangers a 1-0 lead. And from this point, you're probably thinking, right, it's going to be back to the walls for the last half an hour. Rangers are going to have to defend here. Rangers are going to have to hold on. But that actually wasn't really the case. And I think in the last half an hour, if any team looked like they were going to get another goal here, it looked like it was going to be Rangers. I thought Rangers on the counter-attack looked a lot more likely to score than PSV did coming forward. PSV did have one shot, one real good chance that we'll talk about, but before that it was Tillman with another shot on the edge of the box. It was a really good shot, and it was a good save from the goalkeeper. Made a one-handed save. Unfortunately though, the ball was like hit too central. It was like kind of right down the middle of the goal. Maybe if he could have found one of the corners, it would have been a goal, but it was a bit too central and the keeper managed to get down low, and it was still a good save because the shot was powerful and low, so the keeper had to dive and get a strong hand on it. But it was, too central, and if it, like I said, if it was either side of him, maybe it would have been in, but still a decent save for the goalkeeper. Then about 17 minutes for time, PSV striker gets through, and this was a really good chance. When they played him through, I thought it was a goal, I really did, but McLaughlin just rushed out, closed in the angle, closed in the space, and didn't really give the striker much of a chance here. And he takes a shot, and McLaughlin saves it with his chest. And it was a really, really good save. And I think not Conor McGregor, fuck me, he doesn't make any saves. He's an alcoholic. I think if Alan McGregor made this save, then Rangers fans would be, praising him big time. So I think it's only fair that we give McLaughlin a lot of credit for this save that kept Rangers ahead in the tie. Because it was a big, big save, and it was the best chance PSV had in the second half to try and equalise. But after this, not a lot really happened. I mean, Rangers made some substitutions, and PSV, they tried, but they didn't really create anything. They looked like a team that, they didn't give up, but they just looked like a team that didn't have much belief that they could actually get back into the game, like they were whipping crosses in and stuff like that, but there was nothing really. McLaughlin had done very well. I thought there was some balls that were just getting put into the box, and he was just calmly allowing them to run out of play, or he was slowing the pace down and allowing the ball to come to him rather than doing anything stupid. He was collecting ball, wasting time, and that's what you want from your goalkeeper, to just take all the steam, just take all the momentum away from PSV, just slow the game down, and that's what McLaughlin done. I thought McLaughlin actually done great tonight, and I mean, even the save he made in the first half from the De Jong, yeah, it was right at him, but I mean, it was still good. He still had the reactions to make the save and gather the ball before it got away from him. So, McLaughlin was great tonight. I think he deserves a lot of credit. And then the ref had it 94 minutes on. He played a bit extra though. He played about 30 seconds extra. Didn't matter though, because not a lot happened at PSV. I think he could have played 30 minutes extra. I don't think PSV would have scored tonight. Then the full-time whistle went, and Rangers celebrate. I believe it's the first time in 11 years, I think, since they've qualified for the Champions League. First time Scotland have had two teams in the Champions League since the 2007-2008 campaign, which was a really, really good year for Scottish football in Europe. So, absolutely brilliant here. Rangers Day is all proud tonight. And, I mean, who would have thought that, it was only a couple weeks ago they lost 2-0 to USG, and it looked like the Champions League hopes were done and dusted. But, no, they've came back well. They got back into that tie, won that tie. Got a good draw at Ibrox, even though I thought they could have maybe even won that game. And then they came to Holland tonight, and they finished the job with a 1-0 victory. So you can't really complain about that. You can't really ask for much more from a Rangers perspective. So they'll be joining Celtic in the Champions League group stages. Now, unfortunately for Rangers, they will be going in as a pot 4 side. Now, interestingly enough, I think they're the highest seeded pot 4 team. And if Benfica had lost their qualifier last night, then Rangers actually would have went into pot 3, which would have been, obviously fantastic. And there is some giants in pot 3 that you do want to avoid. So, I mean, people might not think it makes a big difference, but it kind of does. I mean, because let's be real, I know Rangers beat Dortmund last year, but you still would want to avoid Dortmund. Who else do you have in pot 3? You have Inter Milan as well. So, there's, like I said, some really, really good teams in there. It's Borussia Dortmund, Red Bull Salzburg, Shakhtar Donetsk, Inter Milan, Napoli, Benfica, Sporting, and Bayer Leverkusen. So, I mean, yeah, it would have been, obviously would have been a lot better had Rangers been in that pot 3, because then it means that they don't get any of those teams, and instead they would get someone from pot 4, which is made up of Dynamo Zagreb, Marseille, Copenhagen, Club Brugge, Victoria Plzen, and Maccabi Havia, and obviously whoever would have beat Benfica. So you'd much rather have one of the pot 4 teams than one of the pot 3 teams. But I think at this stage, Rangers will just be happy to be in the Champions League. The draws tomorrow, guys, absolutely cannot wait. I think even no matter what the draw is, even if Rangers and Celtic both get the best draw possible, you're still going to be coming up against solid teams. You know, I'm looking at pot 3, pot 1, and pot 2. There's no bad teams in here. You know, they're all good teams. Some of them are great teams. Some of them are world-class teams. But there's no bad teams. So regardless of who you get, you know, it's not going to be easy. It's definitely not going to be easy. So it'll be interesting to see what the draw is tomorrow. I cannot wait, guys. We'll cover it here on Fog Fit, but maybe try and go live as well. Who knows? Maybe we'll do a live stream for the Champions League group stage. If you want to see that, then obviously comment and we'll try and get something set up. We'll try and get some systems, I don't know, system software. Who knows, maybe some geeks out there can help us and explain how you do a live stream. And also, don't forget, we've got the Hearts versus Zurich second leg tomorrow as well. Europa League qualifier, Europa League playoff. Hearts win that. They're in the Europa League, lose it. They're in the Europa Conference League. I mean, yeah, the pressure's kind of off that they're guaranteed some form of group stage football, but you want, you know, I mean, you do want to be in the bigger competition, obviously. It's like Rangers, you know, had they lost tonight, they're still getting Europa League, and they had that great run to the Europa League final last year, and no disrespect to Europa League, but you always want to be in, you know, the higher competition, and the Champions League's the cream of the crop, so of course you want to be in it, and yeah, thankfully Rangers are in it. But I didn't expect them to win the night. Holding my hands up, I actually thought PSV would win. I'll be completely honest, my scoreline prediction was 3-0 PSV. So I am glad to be wrong. I actually put £120 on Rangers though, because I wanted Rangers to win, and you know they did win. So buzzing, absolutely buzzing. Big win for Rangers, and hopefully our luck can continue. Not our luck, hopefully our good form, you know, continues into tomorrow and continues with the draw. But I mean, what a time for Scottish football, you know. I mean, in the last couple of years with Rangers, you know, back into the top flight, I feel like Scottish football has came on leaps and bounds. I've always been saying this, even on this channel, and probably, you know, more frequently on my own channel, Sun Scotland TV, but I have been saying that I genuinely believe Scottish football has been on the rise, and, you know, it just makes sense. Like, the better Rangers do, the better Celtic will be, and the better Celtic do, the better Rangers will be, and the better those two do, the better the whole league will be. Because, I mean, if Celtic are dominating, Rangers fans will not accept that. They will demand the team gets better, and the same for Celtic. You know, if Rangers are dominating, it's like last year when Rangers won the title, or 2 years ago even, you know, Celtic fans weren't happy and they made changes and Neil Lennon got out. And it's the same when, you know, Celtic were at the top. Rangers kept making the changes. They got Steven Gerrard and they kept trying until they eventually won the league. So I don't really understand this. I get it, the rivalry, but I think it is better that both teams are in the Champions League, because it will make both of them better. It will make both of them stronger, and it will make the whole league stronger. And the stronger the league is, you know, the better that both Old Firm teams are going to be, because they're the two biggest teams in the league. So it makes perfect sense to me. And then you look at the national front as well, qualified for a European tournament for the first time in 22 years. Even though the last couple of results for Scotland haven't been great, that's an understatement. They've been pretty damn shite, to be honest. But I do have a lot of faith in Steve Clarke. I think he will. I think he'll do as good, and I expect us to actually top that Nations League group. So yeah, and Steve Clarke I trust, but last couple of results haven't been great. But yeah, you know, we'll not talk about that. There's been a few bad results in our European campaigns this season as well. Remember, like I said, Rangers lost to USG 2-0 with the Motherwell results. You can't forget the Dundee United result as well. So there's always some bad results in there, you know, there's always some bad apples. But tonight, fucking eat those apples, PSV. It's Rangers 1, PSV 0, guys. Catch yous in the next one. And yeah, we'll be probably throwing out a video soon going over the best case possible scenarios for tomorrow and the worst case possible scenarios as well, and maybe some sort of Champions League draw simulator thing. We're going to have a wee bit of fun with that. But that's it, guys. Till next time, I'll catch you later. Till then, peace.